located within TT6 territory and within the Métis homeland and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 4. We at the International and Heritage Languages Association acknowledge this land as the traditional territory of many First Nations such as Cree, Dene, Nakota Sioux, Anishinaabe, and Blackfoot. Thank you.
Thank you. Sasri Ataji, Hosh, Hamadid, Witami, Salamat Detani, Benvenuti, Bienvenue, and welcome. Hello and welcome everyone to IHLA's 20th Annual Mother Language Day celebration. My name is Antonella Cortese, and I am the president of the International and Heritage Languages Association. Before we get started, first and foremost, I need to thank a few people who made this day happen. First and foremost, our students and our heritage language schools, our parents, who every Saturday and every day when there is scuola or ridna scola or escuela, you bring your children every day with a smile, and our students come in excited and enthusiastic to learn. And even on the days they're not very enthusiastic when they start, they're enthusiastic when they leave. Secondly, and not to say enough, to our program and IT coordinators, Grace Alarcan Isla and Maria Castro, who through their willingness, dedication, critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, made it possible for all of us to be in this space with the Polish Hall's help. Our first IHLA main event after February 2020. So this is our first main event, so thank you all for your patience and also for helping make this day. Thank you to Grace and Marina, and if I could please ask all of you to give a small but loud round of applause for them. So now all of you have a face or faces to all the emails that have been answered as best as they can. Obviously, we need to thank the Polish Hall for hosting us, and Alberta Education, AGLC, Alberta Gaming and Liquor Commission, and also the association, the Alberta Association for Multicultural Education. This year, IHLA marks a milestone, as I said, with its celebration as the first MLD, or as the first having been in 2003 in the city of Edmonton. Since that first MLD in 2003, our heritage language schools have grown in size and scope, and their importance in an ever-changing world, socially and economically, could not be more present. They are imperative to helping continue to promote intercultural understanding and respect, a sense of linguistic and cultural identity, and pride in how we navigate and negotiate in the world. As well, today, we would like to acknowledge the people of Bangladesh, who on February 21st, 1952, risked their lives in the name of maintaining and keeping their language and their culture. Their impact on all of us is profoundly felt every day as we use our mother languages and live by our mother cultures. This year marks the 70th anniversary of that protest for the right to language and culture. On behalf of the IHLA board, we thank and are proud to see our member schools participating today. And at this time, before I pass the microphone on, I would also like to thank our distinguished guests, Ms. Ana Lucio Lico from the National Coalition for Community-Based Heritage Language Schools in Washington, D.C., and also, if she would stand up, Ms. Nora Lulich-Jones, who is in our loft, who is also videotaping and will be doing podcasting. She is a member of the National Commission of Languages in Washington, D.C., and she is the creator of the podcast, It's All About Language. We'd also like to thank Counselor Andrew Knack, who will be coming today, and Professor Olenka Bilash. Thank you all again for being a part of our event, and sincere thanks again to all of our parents and our students and teachers. At this time, because I don't want to take too much time, I would like to introduce Ms. Ana Luciolico, who will give our first keynote address.
It's such an honor to mark my first trip to Canada as arriving in Edmonton. You guys can imagine a girl from Brazil who arrives on -27 in Canada, how crazy it was for me, but I kept feeling the warmth of Antonella and everyone I've been meeting. It's a very great pleasure for me to be here, participate in such an event, but the 20th Mother Language Day celebration. This is awesome. But I'm normally not here. I'm normally there because I'm a parent of heritage language kids. I'm a co-founder of a Brazilian heritage language school. And even though my first hat now is as a director and co-founder of the coalition of community-based heritage language schools in the US, my mostly worn hat is the parent hat, and that's the hat that I'll be using or activating in a few minutes. First, I'm gonna do the honor of representing the coalition president, who would love to be here but couldn't be here. You guys, I hope you guys have a chance to meet her one day. She's an amazing leader in the field. So I'll briefly do a little summary from where we have been to a little bit of where we're now, then we can look into the future. In the 90s and early 2000s, the first years of the 2000s, many researchers in conferences on heritage language were happening and doing relevant stuff in the US. Everything I say is with the the US context. In all these conferences and research studies, everyone was finding that anytime they discussed quality of language programs or advanced language development opportunities for heritage language speakers in the country, they realized they only talked about university, those students being in university, or later on private or public schools, but the mainstream schools. Nobody was talking about or thinking about community-based schools. Where are these schools? Who's running them? What languages are being taught? What approaches are being used? How successful are they? How sustainable are they? And what contributions are these schools making to the national language, national education landscape? How, and this is what speaks dearly to our heart and to IHLA's heart, how can we make these schools more visible in a vital part of our efforts? So in 2014, the coalition was born, the organization that I'm representing, precisely to address questions like this and try to bring these schools like yours, schools that are beautifully represented upstairs with those tables and so many interesting things I've been crazily taking picture of. So we teamed up. There is a board of directors at the coalition, but the most precious part of our efforts is an initiative we had a few years ago called the Language Representatives. So we have 35 languages represented in our work, and we have native speakers of those languages part of this network. That's the only way we can try to address visibility and try to make these schools feel recognized and valued. We organize an annual conference. This year marks the 10th year, will be the 10th conference at American University in the DC region, which is where we are based. And for several years now, we've had IHLA representatives come, and that's how we met Antonella, how Antonella got a strong collaborator, IHLA become a strong collaborator with the coalition. And this has shown us how sometimes we think we suffer all those things in our little backyard, and that's only us. But it's not. We share, the coalition and IHLA share so many dreams and values, but also challenges, also project ideas that we have that don't go further because of lack of funding, or don't go further because of government problems. Oh, we cannot do this at the school, or we cannot find venues that would allow us to do certain work. So this collaboration proved to be very fruitful, very empowering, and the work IHLA has been doing over the years is not only remarkably needed and relevant, but IHLA has been serving as an inspiration for organizations, even in the US. We don't have an IHLA in the US. We're dreaming of one day maybe, but right now we don't. And so seeing it here live, a little bit live for me, has been even more motivating to try to bring some ideas of what you guys have been doing for many years already back home. But IHLA cannot fight, or the coalition cannot fight for anyone if we are alone. What IHLA represents, she represents the interests of many schools, and those schools, many interests of many families. But we could have all the money in the world, all the funding, big donors. We cannot do the work without the parents. Actually, we always say in our schools in the US, we always say heritage language is a beautiful seed that starts being cultivated at home. And that process is nurtured, is continued, is valued in the schools, but the school cannot do it alone. So for the school to be more effective, for the community school to be more efficient and successful, it needs the community. And the community needs the school. So I always say, well, in the Brazilian schools, the community schools in the US, one thing that is I can't find the word in English, that is unanimous among us all is the complaint about the Brazilian government. Unfortunately, we have no support from the Brazilian government. So we normally go, hey, we schools need to fight for more support from our government. So the Italian school, the Filipino school, the Russian school, the Czech school, we need the government to support, first to recognize our value and then support our work. But we can't fight for more support, for more funding, for better schools to offer us places, if we don't recognize first the fights we have with ourselves. If I'm proud of who I am, if I'm proud of my roots, of my Brazilian way of being, of my Brazilian way of loving my kids, I have to be proud to show them that. I have to be proud to teach, to transmit that heritage to them. So then one day, when they look back, they are not like, oh, Brazil is the country of my mom only. They look at their Brazilian passport not as tourists, but as some recognition of belonging, some recognition that their identity is now theirs, not my mom only forcing you have to speak, you have to go, you have to sing, you have to dance. So we parents need the community schools that are represented here. And the schools need us, parents. We can't be strong if we fight alone. So the main message I have for us as parents is, let's join forces. Let's fight this fight together so we have any chance of winning towards our kids being happily proud of citizens of our countries. Thank you.
Учні школи українознавства імені Івана Франка виконають пісню «Ой у лузі червона калина». Її написав у 1914 році Степан Чернецький. Вона стала особливою піснею в нашій боротьбі з радянським гнітом і стала уособленням нашого опору, боротьби та єдності. З початком повномасштабного вторгнення Росії на українську землю ця пісня набула значної популярності. Її виконують українські і світові знаменитості, а також дорослі та молоді українці по всьому світу. Більшість студентів, які сьогодні виступають, втекли від війни в Україні і надзвичайно пишаються тим, що виконують цю пісню зараз для вас. Диригент Оля Харабара.
Szkoła Polska Marii Chrzanowskiej. Polski język przez pokolenia. Przedstawienie składa się w 3 cech, które reprezentują przeszłość, teraźniejszość i przyszłość. Scena pierwsza to dialog pomiędzy babcią i wnuczką. Obie recytują wiersz "Kto ty jesteś?". Scena druga to spacer taty z dzieckiem do szkoły, którzy rozmawiają, używają nowoczesnego języka polskiego. Scena trzecia to zajęcia w polskiej szkole. Scena ta reprezentuje nastolatków uczącą się języka polskiego, które przekazał go w przyszłości kolejnym pokoleniom.
Kto ty jesteś?
Polak mały,
Jaki znak twój?
orzeł biały,
Gdzie ty mieszkasz?
między swymi,
W jakim kraju?
polskiej ziemi,
Czym ta ziemia?
mą ojczyzną,
Czym zdobyta?
krwią i blizną.
Czy ją kochasz?
Kocham szczerze,
A w co wierzysz?
w polskiej wierze,
Coś ty dla niej?
wdzięczne dziecię,
Coś jej winni?
o dar życia.
Tato, o której godzinie odbierzesz mnie ze szkoły?
O 12.
Kocham cię, tato. Do zobaczenia.
Zobaczenie w Syleszku. To jest
Dzień dobry, pani.
A jak aparat.
Inahahandog ng aming paaralan sa wikang at kulturang Pilipino ng Edmonton ang mga presentasyon kumay ng tema ng araw ng ina wikang at nakalipas kasalukuyan at pagtanaw sa hinaharap sa anyo ng samot-saring awit pambata sa saliwan ng aming high school Randalia at pag-awit ng mga mag-aaralan mula kindergarten hanggang ika-6 ng batang. Ang orkestra ng Randalia ay tradisyong nagmula sa panahon ng kolosyansimong Espanyol sa Pilipinas. Sa mahigit 350 taon, namayagpag ang impluensyang Espanyol at naging bahagi ng buhay ng mga Pilipino ay kanilang kultura. Kakantahin ng mga bata ang isang kilalang awitin tungkol sa kapikaran sa lalawakin kung saan itanhim at lumalago sa saring-saring kulay sa paligid ng bahay kubo. Sa nakaraan, ang mga tanim sa hardin o bakaran ang pinakukuan ng kanian sa kapukan ng mga tao upang magpaglingkuran sa kanilang komunidad ng mga bayan. Bilang pagkilala sa kasalukuyan, kakantahin ng mga pagmaaralan na isang awit tungkol sa isang bata ng kinagustas ang tanging pera ng mayroon sila upang ipambili ng lugo sa halip ng pagkain.
sinasagisag nito ng tunggulan ng ating kinakaharap sa ngayon. Sa harap ng mataas ang gastusin sa pagkain, pilihin ang pamumuhay. Ipinapahawig ng dito na iba ng kasunduan ng pinapahalagan na bata kesa na matanda. Ang hinaharap atin wikang nagmumula sa ating pagkatuto sa pamamana ng nakalipas at sa mga kwento ng kasalukuyan. Kakantahin ng mga mag-aaralan ng isang kantawang awitin tungkol sa alimanggo na makikita sa mga anyo tubig sa mag-isla sa Pilipinas at ang pagpapalik ng mga bating sa kantahan. Ito ang lumalikha na masayang paglarawan ng mga pag-aaral ng wikang Pilipino. Ang wikang ay nagbabago kasabay ng panahon, subalit kapag ang mga bata ng nasisihayan sa kanilang wikang na pinapanatili nilang ito malapit sa kaling puso. Salubigin natin ang patatangkal sa paaralan sa wikang at kulturang Pilipino ng Edmonton.
So we're going to be doing a song about an old grandma, that's yours truly, and for two little geese.
As 8 million
Valentina Carducci e sono sua studentessa del IHLA Scuola Italiana. Oggi i miei compagni le canzoni Carnevale Italiano. Questa canzone descrive le maschere famose del Carnevale in Italia. Carnevale in Italia è importante perché i personaggi si possono lasciarsi andare e indossare diversi costumi e divertirsi prima della Pasqua, una festa sentita in Italia.
Dobrý den, jsme Česká škola v Edmontonu a chtěl bych vám představit 4 známé lidové písničky, které jsme vybrali z bohatého českého dědictví. V dobách, kdy neexistoval rozhlas, televize a internet, patřil lidový zpěv k běžnému životu lidí. Písně se dědily ústně z generace na generaci. Zpívali maminka svým dětem a prarodiče svým vnukům a vnučkám. Starší děti si je pak prospěvovaly při hrách, pro radost a pro potěšení. A někdy i při lehké práci, se kterou museli rodičům vypomoci. Tyto písničky, mezi lidmi oblíbené, také pomáhaly udržovat při životě český jazyk, jenž byl mnohokrát v historii českého národa potlačovaný. Zaspíváme vám písničky o zvířátkách, o veselém pejskovi, o tom, jak děti pomáhají pást ovce, rozvernou písničku o komáří svatbě a písničku o žížale, která ráda tancovala. Jsou to všechno písně, které i dnes Češi žijící v Kanadě učí s láskou svoje děti a které nám vždy připomenou naše dědictví a naši rodinu.
आज गुरुकुल नेपाली पाठशालालाई प्रतिनिधित्व गर्दै हाम्रो विद्यार्थीहरू आउनु भएको छ। उहाँहरूले एउटा नेपाली मारुनी नृत्य प्रस्तुत गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ। यो नृत्य नेपालको पहाडी भेगमा गाइने र नाचिने नृत्य हो। विशेष गरी कामको सिलसिलामा धेरै टाढा टाढा परदेश गएका परदेशी दाजुभाइहरू आफ्नो गाउँठाउँमा फर्केपछि आफ्नो दिदीबहिनीहरूसँग रमाइलो गर्दै बाल्यकालको स्मृति झल्किने खालको यादहरू दिलाउने खालको गीत गाउँदै नाचिने चलन छ। र यो गीतमा चाहिँ केटी पनि केटा बनेर केटा पनि केटी बनेर त्यसरी नाच्ने चलन भएकोले हाम्रो विद्यार्थीहरू पनि दुईजना चाहिँ केटीको भूमिकामा हुनुहुन्छ, दुईजना केटाको भूमिकामा हुनुहुन्छ। र यो गीतको भावना चाहिँ के छ भने हामी जहाँ गए पनि जे गरे पनि आफ्नै गाउँको माटो प्यारो हुन्छ, आफ्नै गाउँको पानी मिठो हुन्छ। बाल्यकालको जस्तो स्मृति फेरि कहिल्यै हुँदैन। त्यही भएर हामी जतिसुकै दुःख परोस् जेसुकै होस् हामी आफ्नो माटो सम्झौँ, बाल्यकालको स्मृति पटक पटक जगाउँ भन्दै यहाँ एडमन्टनमा बसेर पनि स्कुल मार्फत विद्यार्थी भाइ बहिनीहरूले त्यो सिक्दै हुनुहुन्छ र हामीलाई पनि प्रस्तुत गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ। सबैलाई धन्यवाद।
Dr. Josephine Power.
Thank you, Grace. I'm not supposed to be introduced because I'm here to introduce other people. But first of all, I want to read the message of our Lieutenant Governor of Alberta. It is my great pleasure to join in marking Mother Language Day. I would have loved to have celebrated it with you in person, but unfortunately, I am away from Edmonton area at this time. However, I did not want to miss this opportunity to offer my heartfelt thanks to everyone who supports this great and worthy initiative. When we learn a mother language, as we are only honoring our own, we are also helping to foster the greater overall appreciation for the diversity of our own culture. I am very proud to say that my own mother language is Gujarati. I cherish everything that I'm able to do and speak, and to see it passed down to the future generation. To all about those that are going to contribute to Mother Language Day, this celebration, I would like to say thank you, and in Gujarati, Amaro Abad. Your sustained commitment to this important work helps countless people to connect with their mother language and to share the rich beauty of their own culture. So I wish you continued success and much joy to all the work that you do. Enjoy the celebration. The Honorable Salma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you one of our dearest friends, a mentor, and an inspiration. And that is our Dr. Olenka Bilash, who was one of the founding pillars of IHLA, a frontier of several fields of practical education, innovative bilingualism, and of course, pedagogy, Aboriginal language, education, and many more. It will take me a day to be able to really present her with all the achievements that she has. But I would just want to summarize it by quoting Dr. Osier. Over an incredible career, from education from Edmonton to Sapporo to Kiev to Brazil to South Africa and all around the world, Dr. Bilash has built bridges between a wide range of research disciplines and had a significant set of international dialogues. And from Dr. Tom Dust, Dr. Bilash is without doubt one of the most outstanding educators in our field of education. But Dr. Bilash announced her retirement in September 2022. But ladies and gentlemen, that retirement is not a time for relaxation. It's a time for her to go for more adventurous educational field trips. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you Dr. Olenka Bilash.
Good afternoon. I would like to begin with a land acknowledgement. As we all know, the city of Edmonton acknowledges the traditional land on which we reside in Treaty 6 territory. We would like to thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose ancestors' footsteps have marked the territory for centuries, such as the Cree, Dene, Anishinaabe, Saulteaux, Nakota Isga, Nakota Sioux, and Niitsitapi and Blackfoot people. We also acknowledge that is as the Métis homeland and the home of one of the largest communities of the Inuit south of the 60th parallel. It is a welcoming place for all peoples who come from all around the world. But we are gathered here today to celebrate what usually occurs on February 21st, and that is the International Mother Language Day. This year is the 23rd anniversary of UNESCO's International Mother Language Day, a day that promotes the preservation and protection of all languages used by peoples of the world. As a member of the board of directors of LinguaPax, the international organization that lobbied for the creation of International Mother Language Day, I am here to acknowledge the families and teachers who make this day possible. In Edmonton, where almost 200 languages are spoken, Mother Language Day means celebrating cultural and linguistic diversity and the successes of families and communities who pass on their heritage, knowledge, values, and beliefs through language from one generation to another. Although speaking one's mother tongue is a human right, not everyone can take this right for granted, especially in places where local mother tongues are threatened by more dominant languages. Anthropologists guess that there are, or there were, once about 8,000 different languages spoken on our planet. Now, there are closer to 6,000, and half of them are considered endangered. In fact, National Geographic reports that every 2 weeks, another language disappears. Yes, just as many of the world's plants and animals are in danger of extinction, so are human languages at risk. And while there are ways to recover, say, tomato seeds, language is an oral medium. When it is gone, when there are no more direct speakers that speak or use that language, and that language has never been documented, it is gone from human history, from the wealth of human knowledge. At least 100 languages around the world have only a handful of speakers. And today, half of the world's population report only 10 languages as their mother tongues. Although this may give the top 10 languages many advantages for communication, for business and technology, no language is more precious to a person than his or her mother tongue. The essence of our identity is formed early in life through the relationships of family members and language. At that time, we are introduced to the world through words, through the names of things that we see and hear and feel and do, through the lullabies, the songs, the poems, the jingles, the stories, proverbs, and wisdom of generations. We contribute to the world through language, through oral and written interaction. We express our feelings toward one another through language. A language is not only made of words and grammar, it is a network of the history that united people who once spoke it, of all the things they did together, all the knowledge they shared with their offspring. The United Nations posits that the citizens of this century need to be plurilingual. They need to be able to communicate well in the language of their nation, an international language, and another, sometimes local language. Through such plurilingualism grows respect for others, respect for different ways of seeing the world, and respect for living side by side in peace and harmony. Each language needs to have equal social status, and each speaker should be proud to speak their language. This pride comes from the emotional ties to family and the knowledge of the history, culture, and contributions of that culture and its people to humankind. Globalization has helped to make the world a smaller, interconnected place, but it has also contributed to language loss. Let us today celebrate the prevention of language loss. Let us thank the parents and teachers for passing on language to another generation and enriching the lives of young Edmontonians. Let us thank them for teaching youth the stories, songs, poems, history, knowledge, values, and beauty embedded in our languages, and for making possible yet another generation to live in their heritage language, and hopefully to be able to pass it along to another generation. Let us acknowledge the volunteer board of the International Heritage Language Association for their decades of service to the multicultural fabric of our city and country, and for organizing this annual event. Thank you.
So before the intermission, we're just going to do a couple of draws, and then if you're here, please come and grab one of these wonderful prizes at the front here. Okay, so this is for the staff and volunteers. This is for Filipino language and culture, and it's Josephine. And so Josephine is going to, she wins a necklace from the Ukrainian society. She's going to show it. One more draw. And this is for the general guests coming in, and this is from the Czech, or she speaks Czech. And this is for Eva Famia. So Eva, if you're in the building, please come look for me. If not, we're going to do another draw. If she's not here, she has to be here to receive the draw. So there is intermission. We're going to be opening the door. So whoever's at the back there now, you can open the door. There are refreshments, and the loaves. We're ahead of schedule. Yay! So we're just going to do an intermission. We'll be back at 12:40 ish. So have a refreshment, stretch, go to the washroom. The loaves should be there in about 10-15 minutes. It's just because we're ahead of schedule. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you back.
Namaste, everybody, and can I have your attention? I'm going to be introducing you to some boring people like me. I'm the Vice President of IHLA, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Board of Directors for IHLA that put together this program. I will start with our leader who has led IHLA for more than a decade. It is not, it sounds like that, for 10 years or 12 years, it is very hard to run your personal life, school life, professional life, and then devote time for the board and lead a board continuously and bring it and give it a direction. So it's my pleasure to invite our President, Antonella Cortez. Please come. I'll also invite now the Secretary Sylvia Bojorek. Treasurer Anupama Deshpande. And now, before I bring in the rest of the board members, I want to invite our member emeritus who have served their community, IHLA, even before it was IHLA, it was NALA. So from that time, Josephine Peller and Jaspal Bunsen. I don't think Jaspal is here. And now our members at large, Christina Dembowski. Christina has been our treasurer for several years. Lilia Sukhi, Jilka Strosuk, Amin Ari, Kuldeep Kaur, and our past president, Nina Polova. Oh, this one I'm going to really mess up. Nina Polovnikova. Please give them a big hand. And this board couldn't have done the work that we have been able to do without the help of our program coordinator, Grace, Alarcon Mila, and our IT coordinator, Marina Castro.
Thank you, Krishna. One thing that Krishna neglected to include is himself as our Vice President of the International Heritage Language Association. So please give a wonderful applause to Krishna, who has been a grounding force in our board since he started. So thank you. Thank you. Without further ado, and with great pleasure, I would like to announce and introduce our one of our city councilors, Mr. Andrew Mack.
I'll call you back up in the front. Are you going to wait there? Because I'm going to get to present to you very soon. So very good. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am very pleased to be here on Soviet Hall of City Council. As mentioned, my name is Andrew Knack. I'm very fortunate to be serving Ward Dakota Iska, sort of the northwest part of the city of Edmonton. And we are, for everyone's knowledge, Dakota Iska means the people, from the Dakota Sioux people. So each year, our city looks forward to celebrating mother languages and the power of multiculturalism. Over 100 languages are currently spoken in Edmonton. Language has helped our diverse communities to thrive and grow stronger. As the city of Edmonton focuses on building a city of 2 million people, we want to ensure that we're fostering an inclusive and welcoming community for all. And so part of this work means supporting the preferred language and linguistic style of diverse Edmontonians. And so here at the City of Edmonton, this is actually very new, just within the last few days. We're actually currently testing out a language identifier program that allows all city staff members in our community services department to showcase the languages that they speak through a pin that they wear. And we have over 80 staff who can communicate in more than 35 different languages at recreation centers and locations like our Valley Zoo, as well as through our peace officers. And so this project, the goal is to aim to help those who struggle with English and to know that help is available really anywhere you need. And I think it's a really exciting new approach to enhance the sense of belonging within our communities. And the goal is to keep building on this program and to make sure it is spread across the entire organization. I don't have one of the pins myself. I can, je parle le français un petit peu, but I'm working on it still. I gotta speak my French a lot more, so that's, if you were to speak French to me, that's about the one thing I could generally understand, but if you ask me to speak it back to you, I need to take some like in-person courses to get to that point, but once I reach that point, I actually want to be able to wear one of those pins and make sure that we're engaging more and more people. And for me, it's, I think about this because as a city, we're really inspired by the great work that you're doing. The board that was just presented, everyone here who's volunteering your time, the work you're doing is so inspirational. And it's clear, when I got to go up and look through all of the displays, you could see it in the face of every single person who had a chance to talk about the school that they represent, the community they represent. That excitement and that passion is clearly evident in what is happening today. And so I want to thank all of you. I want to thank the board who's already been thanked for all of your work to help put this on. I want to thank everyone who's here representing different schools and sharing with us, because it truly is exciting to see, and it's so important for this city that we continue to build upon that day after day after day. So I'd like to make sure we give the board one more round of applause for all of their incredible work, if we could. Thank you so much. And so today I am bringing the official proclamation on behalf of Mayor Sohi. And so now I think is a perfect time to invite you up, and I will go through the proclamation. Let's see her here. It's always fun when you have the very official documents that we get. So, where do you want to go? Want to be on this side or be on that side? So, all right. Here we go. And I have to read it out too. So just wait one more moment. Let me read it out, and then we're going to come up for pictures. So, because I want you to hear. Just one moment. We're going to read this out. So whereas the United Nations General Assembly has designated February 21st International Mother Language Day to promote the preservation and protection of all mother languages used by peoples of the world. And whereas Edmonton is home to a vibrant medley of different cultures, religious backgrounds, and more than 100 unique languages. And whereas City Hall is hosting a replica of the Mother Language Monument in February to promote the vital role that diverse languages play in building a more inclusive and connected city. And whereas the City of Edmonton recognizes the importance of supporting and welcoming multilingual newcomers and their descendants who help create the vibrant communities we know and love. Therefore, on behalf of Mayor Amarjeet Sohi, do hereby proclaim February 21st, 2023 Mother Language Day in Edmonton, Alberta's capital city. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I'm sorry I don't get to spend the afternoon with you. I have to run to a few more events, but I really appreciate your time. I thank you for welcoming here, and I look forward to the rest of the day. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Councillor Mack. Thank you so much, and for everyone at the city, and in particular also our Mayor, Ajit Sohi. So as you all know, this year the Mother Language theme is My Heritage Language, from past to present and looking toward the future. This theme was chosen to highlight how our linguistic and cultural roots ground us as we grow, and it helps guide us as we make our way. From our elders who arrived in Canada and navigated and negotiated their way through a new language, a new country, new customs, to our present, where our young people now are communicating in ways that we could have never imagined. Our children, they are our future, and this is something we all know. They are also the hopeful keepers and maintainers of our heritage languages. With this, we are happy to use social media and all the different media to not only communicate with language, but also to hear about language. And it is for this reason that I am proud to present our second keynote speaker, Ms. Nora Lulich-Jones, who is not only a member of the National Commission of Languages in the United States out of Washington, D.C., but she is also the creator of a podcast that I hope you'll all look up because it is incredibly informative, interesting. You learn a lot, I feel I do. So her podcast is called It's All About Language. And it's a podcast that addresses not only teaching, but it also talks about how our heritage languages interact with the world around us. Through industry, through business, through environment, through politics. It runs the gamut. So it is my pleasure to introduce Nora Lulich-Jones.
It is a great pleasure for me to be here today because of the honor that IHLA has provided in connecting all of the peoples that work hard on behalf of heritage languages. As Antonella was so kind to say about the podcast, and thank you very much for such a warm introduction to the podcast, which, by the way, I'm recording upstairs. So I invite you, as those that are the educator parents and teachers of heritage languages, as those of you that are the students of heritage language, to come and speak briefly with me, and we're going to put a podcast together that specifically focuses on this day, but on the heritage languages. I come to you as an educator among all educators because parents, people that are heads of school, teachers that are in the classrooms, we are all educators of those that are on our charge of young people. One of the things that I have been able to do over the years is to teach many languages. One language I've not been able to teach is my own heritage language, Croatian, because it was not taught to me as a child. It was not until I asked, where is my grandmother? Where are my aunts and uncles? That my father finally realized that potentially this was an opportunity for me to reconnect with the heritage that he had as a refugee at the beginning of World War II from a Dalmatian Croatian fishing village. Upon entering that family heritage, I had a world open up to me. But I had not had a chance to learn the language or to go to a Saturday school. And I regret it to this day, which is why I am a language educator, because I brought that past, as you are bringing your past, into my present and became an educator. Here's another thing that you are here today. You are a creator of resources, whether it's something to color or the beautiful, beautiful outfits that your young people are wearing, the resources that are found in the classroom, the resources of building buildings where these classes can take place. You are creating the resources for heritage languages to be able to succeed. I am a resource creator too in my history of being able to write those kinds of curricula for students to learn languages and watch as their eyes and ears and lives are opened up to the world. Here's another thing that you are. You are an advocate every day. Each day that you sit at your table in your home and say to your child, this is what we call it in our family's heritage language. This is how we can express ourselves. This is what you are. This is how you describe yourself. That's advocacy. Your teachers are advocates by being an encouragement inside the classroom. Then the teachers that belong to associations, or those of you that belong to communities that get together and speak about this to others, that is advocacy. All that we have done, I have gone from classroom to state, because I come from Virginia in the United States, to region to national, but it's all advocacy. And sometimes when we have an opportunity then to get laws changed, it's such an honor to be able to hear what's happening in Canada and how much we in the United States can also learn and grow and commit ourselves to with regard to advocacy. You know, advocacy comes from the Latin word advocare, to speak out. That's what you're doing today, speaking out. And here is the language secret that's right in front of us that we know that not everybody knows. Language is a spoken phenomenon. Language has been spoken for over 150,000 years of human history. Writing is a technology that's captured that spoken language. But when you close your eyes, as when I close mine, what I hear in my head is a voice. The voice of my Baba, the voice of my Dundo, the voice of my father. One of my dear friends, whom I'll say her name is Susan, so that I do not reveal her identity. When she closed her eyes after the death of her father, she came to me in a panic, in tears, because she could not remember her father's voice. That is what you are doing with these children, giving them the history of voice. We are now taking a look at the past of heritage, what role it plays in the present, and looking to the future. There have been so many articulate statements. I'm going to add a challenge for us to understand. There is a cusp of something brand new, my friends. Something brand new. Seriously, let's go out and make it different. You know about the emergent artificial intelligence, yes? You have heard potentially of the ways that, say, chatbot, just in the last few months. But now here is what those that are engaged in this technology say. And I am quoting from an article by a technology expert who writes for the Atlantic magazine, prestigious. He said, the future of work is the ability to talk to computers. Not write code. Not write. This is an emergent technology. Writing was a technology. Coding was a technology. The new technology, my dear parents, my dear guardians, grandparents, teachers, young students, the emergent technology is to be able to speak to a computer that will then program itself based on what you have to say. These are called engineering prompts, to get specific. The future of work is talking to computers. That means that every language gets to play. How about that? This is an intelligence that will allow what you're capturing in heritage language to now be the way that we can interact with the technology future. As Charlie Warsaw says, for the first time, I feel the humanity in the midst of technology. So, let us celebrate this humanity. Let us celebrate voices. Let us celebrate being educators and resource creators and advocates. And let's also make sure that we tell those in the future that would block language in order to be able to focus on technology that it's the other way around now. We will have a chance to speak to the future, literally, in our homes and families and hearths, and also in our work. Thank you for being present here today. Thank you for the honor, Antonella and everyone. Marina, okay, Grace. And may you please go into the future. Thank you for all that you're doing for your children in the world.
Namaste. हामी चाहिँ जुनेली विद्यालयको तर्फबाट बोल्दैछौँ। जुनेली विद्यालय चाहिँ 2004 सालमा स्थापना भएको हो र अहिलेसम्म धेरै विद्यार्थीहरू दीक्षित गरिसकेका छौँ र यसले चाहिँ हेरिटेज लगायत भेरियस प्रोग्रामहरूमा चाहिँ नेपाली संस्कृतिको तर्फबाट सहभागिता जनाएर नेपाली संस्कृतिको प्रवर्धन र प्रमोसन गर्दै आइरहेको छ। अब हाम्रो राष्ट्रिय गानले चाहिँ विभिन्न नेपालीको बहुभाषिक बहुसांस्कृतिक र भेरियस कल्चरलहरू सबैलाई समेट्ने प्रयास गरेको छ र आउने अर्को सङ्ग जुन हाम्रो प्रस्तुति छ त्यसले चाहिँ नेपाल बाहिर बस्ने नेपाली वा समग्र नेपालीले नेपाल कस्तो होस् भनेर इच्छाएको छ भन्ने कुरालाई प्रतिबिम्बित गर्दछ। थ्याङ्क यू।
We are Vietbest, a Polish-Canadian dance group, and along with enriching Polish School, we work together to promote Polish culture. We not only learn to speak, read, and write in our native language, we also learn cultural traditions, patriotism, and respect for self and others. The instructional hours are enriched with religious, musical, and artistic studies, all of which are rooted in Polish culture and tradition. Our dancing extracurricular activities enhance the school's curriculum, where our musically and artistically gifted students can expand their skills and showcase their talents. We would like to introduce to you our middle Vietbest members performing Polki, a popular dance for the working class representing turn-of-the-century city folklore. It's an upbeat and playful dance, characterized by showing off for other dancers with the idea of making fun of high society. Now please help us welcome our junior dancers to the stage after these poems.
Jest każdym naszym słowa i słowa są najprostsze. Chleb, mama, dom, gościna i Wisła i Mazowsze.
I jest w czerwieni maków i w białych kwiatach wiśni, w piosenkach wszystkich ptaków i w każdej naszej myśli.
W mazurku szopenowskim i w czarnym węglu Śląska i tu, gdzie serce mówi, że to jest właśnie Polska.
o szczęściu okrutna przeszkoda. Mądre twoje oczy niejedno widziały. Poradź, że mi starcze, tyś człowiek bywały. Poradź, że mi starcze, tyś człowiek bywały.
Pod drzewem starym na środku polany dziad i sołtysy długo rozmawiali. O czym tam gadali i czy się kłócili? Nie wie nikt, lecz ważne, że się pogodzili. Nie wie nikt, lecz ważne, że się pogodzili.
Na wszystko kochane rady nie ma rady. Na nas krzyki, płacze, kraty, zamykanie.
Herkese merhabalar. Ana Dil Günü programına hoş geldiniz. Nebula Akademi Okulu olarak hepinizi selamlıyorum. Ve Ana Dil Gününüzü en içten dileklerimle kutluyorum. Başta birbirinden güzel gösterilerle böyle kıymetli bir programa katkıda bulunanlara ve emeği geçen herkese buradan teşekkürlerimi sunarım. Şimdi okulumuz 6. sınıf öğrencilerinden İpek Derici'yi takdim etmek istiyorum. İpek, bizlere ana dili Türkçe ile barış konulu bir şiir okuyacak.
Hadi çiçek olalım, gönüller arı olsun. Gelin çiçek olalım, petekler sevgi dolsun. Gelin çiçek olalım. Sevgiler kucak kucak, küskünlük olsun uzak. El ele tutuşarak, gelin çiçek olalım. Tül kanatlı periler, yeşil mavi sarılar, kalbi saf ve durular, gelin çiçek olalım. Yüreğimiz yeşersin, mevsim bahara ersin, Ayşe Fatma ne dersin, gelin çiçek olalım. Bazen bir kır yolunda, bazen bir nar dalında, al bayrağının alında, gelin çiçek olalım. Yurdum saklasın, kucağında saklasın, bütün dünya koklasın, gelin çiçek olalım. Sevginin hecesinde, dostluğun yücesinde, bir çocuk bahçesinde, gelin çiçek olalım.
আমাদের আজকের পরিবেশনা মোদের গৌরব মোদের ভাষা আমরি বাংলা ভাষা বাংলাদেশ কানাডা অ্যাসোসিয়েশন অফ এডমন্টন বিসিএর বাংলা স্কুলের পক্ষ থেকে আজকে আমরা পরিবেশন করব 1952 ভাষা আন্দোলনের প্রেক্ষাপটে রচিত একটি গান গানটির রচয়িতা আব্দুল গফফার চৌধুরী এবং সুরকার আলতাফ মাহমুদ এবং গানটিতে প্রকাশ পেয়েছে ভাষা শহীদদের হারানোর বেদনা আর একটি পরিবেশনা হবে আমাদের কবিতা কবিতাটি অতুল প্রসাদ সেনের লেখা আমরি বাংলা ভাষা মোদের গৌরব মোদের আশা আমরি বাংলা ভাষা গানটিতে আমাদের গর্বের কথা প্রকাশিত হয়েছে একটি কবিতা, ভাষার প্রতি আমাদের ভালোবাসা জানিয়ে, আমাদের গর্ব জানিয়ে এই কবিতাটি।
Good evening, everyone. We are so grateful to be here as part of the Edmonton Marathi IHLA, the Edmonton Marathi School. Tonight we have a wonderful performance for you all, and we're so grateful to be invited here on the 20th anniversary of this wonderful day. So today we will be starting our performance with a dedication to Lord Saraswati. Saraswati in the Hindu culture represents both language, arts, dance, and everything that accompanies the beauty of arts.
नमस्कार. एडमंटन मराठी शाळा आणि आता 20th ॲनिव्हर्सरीचा प्रोग्राममध्ये बद्दल सगळ्यांचे धन्यवाद. आणि आता आपण बघूयात पहिला सरस्वती डान्स आणि त्याच्यानंतर एक स्पेशल गाणं.
We hope you all enjoyed our performance to our dedication to Lord Saraswati. And next, we have a special introduction by the Marathi Community School, the Edmonton Marathi Shala School. The girls will be doing an introduction to our next performance, which is a journey to their ancestral home.
We would like to thank the Namaste Jeev Dance School and give a round of applause to our translators Bhumi and Sia. Dancers Antara, Isha, Ria, Arya, Aryan, Meera and Chaitana, who will be performing our next dance. Hello, I'm Sia. Hello, I'm Sia. And I'm Bhumi. We are from Edmonton Marathi Shala. Mother tongue language day. Namaskar. Namaskar Sofana. Warm greetings to all of you. Namaste to all the language lovers. Edmonton Marathi Shala presents before you Juk Juk Age Nagari, a special treat for the roots of our language. Our mother tongue, Marathi. We wonder about the childhood of our parents, a life without cell phones and computers. This song is about visiting grandparents' place, Machona, uncle, mama's place. This is not mere traveling, but an emotional journey to our grandparents' house. It connects you with the roots, the love, the bonding, the feeling of belonging. Did you know, Sia, my parents also sang and danced to this song? Oh really, the poem, the music, the rhythm connects us to our mother tongue, Matru Bhasha. Throughout such songs, we learn not only the language, but also absorb values. Our present and future is perfect, but will these computers teach us songs? Chant with affection like my grandparents do? Will they adapt, change strategy according to our moods like my grandparents? Chuk chuk chuk chuk age nagari, mamacha gavala जाऊया, mamacha गावाला आजोली जाऊया आणि मजा करूया, लाड करून घेऊया. आपली आई जिची छोटी असताना खेळत होती ना तिथे जाऊया. त्यावेळी कम्प्युटर्स आणि सेलफोन्स नव्हते. आजी आजोबांच्या वेळी टीव्ही पण नव्हता म्हणे. कसं राहत असतील, कोणत्या कविता आणि गोष्टी सांगत असतील. आज ते हे गाणे नाच माझ्या आईच्या लहानपणीचे आहे. आज हे ते खूप गोड आणि आपले वाटते कविता आणि अशा गाण्यामुळे आमची आणि आमच्या माय भाषेची मैत्री होते. नवे शब्द आणि संस्कार मिळतात. सध्या आम्ही ऑनलाईन शिकतो. पुढे कदाचित रोबोट शिकवतील, पण ते आम्हाला माझा राजा, माझी सोनू असं म्हणतील. आमचा मूड बघून चेंजेस करतील. आम्हाला कनेक्ट राहायचे आहे आणि आमची मातृभाषाची कनेक्ट राहायचे माय मराठीशी. चुप चुप चुप चुप अगे नगाडी, मामाच्या गावाला जाऊया, भाषाच्या गावाला जाऊया, माय बोलीची मातृभाषाच्या गावाला जाऊया. खूप खूप. We hope you enjoy our performance. Thank you.
Thank you.
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ। ਮੈਂ ਅਮਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਕੈਨ ਰਾਮਗੜੀਆ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਦਫ਼ਤਰ ਦੀ ਸੰਚਾਲਕ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਡਾ ਸਕੂਲ 1986 ਵਿੱਚ ਖੁੱਲ੍ਹਿਆ ਸੀ ਅਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਕਸਦ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ, ਵਿਰਸੇ ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੋਲੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਹੈ। ਸਾਡਾ ਸਕੂਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਭਾਗਸ਼ਾਲੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਈਲਾ ਦਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਈਲਾ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ ਅਤੇ ਬੋਲੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅੱਜ ਬੱਚੇ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਰਿਵਾਇਤੀ ਨਾਚ ਹੈ। ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ 1800 ਈਸਵੀ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ, ਜੋ ਵਿਸਾਖੀ ਵੇਲੇ ਮਨਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੰਗੀਤ, ਗੀਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਢੋਲ ਤੇ ਲਾਈਵ ਪਾਇਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ-ਨਾਲ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਚਾਲਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਬਦਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਹਨ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਵੱਖਰੀਆਂ ਕਿਸਮਾਂ ਵੀ ਹਨ। ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਉਮਰ ਅਤੇ ਸੱਭਿਆਚਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਅਤੇ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਨ। ਅਸੀਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਭੰਗੜੇ ਦੀ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਵੇਗੀ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।
Oh,
नमस्ते। 20वें वार्षिक मातृभाषा दिवस समारोह में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मेरा नाम शीतल साले है। मैं अल्बर्टा हिंदी परिषद स्कूल में एक अध्यापिका हूँ। हिंदी भाषा भारत की सबसे अधिक बोली जाने वाली भाषा है। मूलतः हिंदी संस्कृत की वंशज है, जो एक प्राचीन भारतीय भाषा है। हिंदी को इंडो यूरोपीय भाषा परिवार का हिस्सा माना जाता है और यह अरबी, फारसी, तुर्की, पुर्तगाली और अंग्रेजी जैसे भाषाओं से भी प्रभावित है। आज अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मातृभाषा दिवस के अवसर पर अल्बर्टा हिंदी स्कूल की ओर से हमारे छात्र हिंदी भाषा का क्रमिक विकास कैसे हुआ इस बारे में एक लघु नाटिका प्रस्तुत करने वाले हैं। स्वागत करते हैं हमारे प्यारे छात्रों का और जानेंगे भारत में प्राचीन काल से लेकर भविष्य तक विरासत भाषाओं की भूमिका। स्वागत करते हैं।
स्वागत करते हैं हम, दिल से सबका स्वागत करते हैं हम। We warmly welcome everyone.
Namaskar, my name is Simran.
Namaskar, my name is Priya. Today, on the occasion of International Mother Language Day, let's present the role of heritage languages in India from past to future.
Let's start from the ancient period. This period is also known as the Vedic Age or the Vedic Yuga, and the timeline for Vedic Yuga was from 1500 centuries to early medieval age.
Wow, that means that the Vedic period started around 4,000 years ago? That's amazing. Hey, wait, who's that person and what is he doing here? Let's ask him.
Namaskar, who are you and what are you doing?
I am Gurudev from the ancient period of Vedic Yuga, and I am writing ancient scriptures which are also known as Vedas.
Gurudev? What does that mean? I've never heard the word before.
Gurudev means teacher, who used to teach students at Gurukuls. Now you will ask, what is a Gurukul? A Gurukul is a traditional school in India where students would live in their teacher's house for almost 14 years to complete their education, and ancient scriptures were taught by gurus to their students.
Interesting. Can you tell me more information on these ancient Indian scriptures?
Sure. So these ancient scriptures are known as Vedas. In the beginning period, these Vedas were orally taught in the Sanskrit language. No
written. What? They were not written? Then how were they passed from generation to generation?
Just by reciting and preserving them in the brain. After a long period, they were finally written in Sanskrit language.
Wow, interesting. Can you give us any more Sanskrit language examples from the ancient period?
Yes, why not? I shall say a really good shloka in the Sanskrit language. Vidya Vinayan Shobhate. It means knowledge shines by humbleness. Now, I'll take your leave. Kalyanam Vastu.
Isn't this great? What an amazing culture we have. Now, let's see what languages were spoken in the medieval age of India.
Wait a minute!
Pranam!
Who are you, Mahomet?
I am Ashoka, Ashoka the Great. I was the third emperor of the Maurya Empire in the subcontinent of India during the medieval age.
What? I'm literally meeting Ashoka the Great Emperor?
Wait, Simran. You must know what languages were spoken in the Maurya Empire, right?
Yes, in the Maurya Empire, Sanskrit was considered a high-profile language. This was not the case with the locals, so they adopted to a language known as Prakrit. Even I can speak Prakrit, but Prakrit remained until the Afghans and Mughal emperors came.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Yes.
Hey, wait, what are you thinking about?
I was just wondering what happened to India when the British East Indian arose.
Wait, I know one brave lady who can give us some information about the languages spoken in the British era. Please welcome Queen of Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai.
Namaste. Yes, I am a witness of the British era. The 19th and 20th centuries had a huge impact on the language of India. Now English has become the lingua franca, which means it is the main language which can connect with other languages of the country. This resulted in a weird mix of Hindi and English, which is often called Hinglish. For example, if you go to a vegetable market and ask for okra, no one understands because in Indian English it is called ladyfinger. Same thing with eggplant, it is called brinjal in Indian English. And it's not just the British that influenced our language history, we influenced theirs as well. The British borrowed many words from Hindi and Sanskrit. Some of these words include veranda, jungle, thug, pajama, and chutney. Okay, namaste. I have to go now. Jai Bhavani!
Hey, who are you guys?
I am Chaitanya and Ara. We are the students of Alberta Hindi School, where we learn not just the Hindi language, but our valuable culture and heritage. We are the future of our heritage.
But why do you need to learn Hindi?
Because in the future it will help us to preserve our deep-rooted 5,000 years of culture and heritage. It will help to receive knowledge from our grandparents and deliver it to the coming generation. Yes, and our Alberta Hindi Parishad School helps us to improve our linguistic skills. In the end, I want to dedicate this Sanskrit shlok to our teachers who take a lot of hard work to teach us Hindi. Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Teachers, for us you are everything, and that's why we genuinely thank you.
Next is Telugu School program. Telugu School is primarily established to teach mother language skills to keep the younger generation connected to Telugu culture. Telugu School of Edmonton has been running successfully for the last 18 years with the help of dedicated volunteer teachers, cooperative parents, and enthusiastic students. We have currently 68 students enrolled in our school. They are of different age groups. Many years ago, one of our teachers, Savitri Machiraju, translated O Canada English version to Telugu and tuned it nicely. We have been singing O Canada Telugu version at the end of each class for several years. We thought it would be nice to showcase this on the auspicious occasion of Mother Language Day. Along with O Canada, our students are singing Janagana Mana, that's the Indian national anthem too. Thanks to IHLA for giving us this opportunity. Enough students can.
Everybody can plan because both are national anthems, great English anthem and the
that we feel again how important our mother tongue is for us, how it shapes us as individuals, as families, and as communities. On behalf of IHLA Board, please let me express my gratitude to everyone without whom today's celebration could not happen. I would like to thank the staff of the College Hall to help us arrange for today's event at this beautiful venue. Thank you, Mr. Soto, our DJ. for playing the music, and for creating the perfect atmosphere for our performance. Thank you also to our special guests, Anna Lucialico and Nora Jones, that they found time and travel to a super cold Edmonton and to be part of this occasion. I really appreciate we could meet you personally, and thank you for your wonderful speeches. It was very inspiring and informative. Thank you also to Mr. Andrew Knack, the City Councilor, for visiting us today and showing the city's support for IHLA and presenting the proclamation. The IHLA coordinators, Grace and Marina, huge thank you to both of you. I know that there have been so much stuff to plan, so many details to pay attention to, and you did really a wonderful job. Thank you, Marina. I don't see Grace. Thank you so much. And lastly, the biggest thank you goes to our performance and the teachers. This was really amazing. All the shows, very creative. All the performances were really beautiful, creative, and really it was fun. Also, thank you to Sudi for video recording everything. Thank you. Please, just before you leave, make sure that the tables at the conference room are cleaned up before you leave. And also, let me still invite you to view the display tables on the second floor. And there also might be still some activities table for children and students. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance today, and I hope to see you at the next celebration of Mother Language Day.